backup strategies to conquer black heart cataracts. Just a second. Yeah. So I don't have any financial interest to disclose. So these are some of the challenges we face while operating on a black heart cataract. The primary challenge is the incision. If your incision is not right, then either you are going to have a leaky wound or you are going to cause a wound burn. Capsular axis again is a problem. We need to protect the endothelium from the tremendous amount of energy that is being spent to emulsify a hard cataract. So endothelial protection is of utmost importance. Hydrodissection and nuclear rotation is again a problem because in a hard cataract, most of the part is a nucleus only. So if your rotation is not right, if you put excessive stress on the zonules to rotate the nucleus, then your zonules might be at stress and they might give way. Your primary aim should be of reducing the phaco energy, and you might have to deal with coexistent dehiscence or a lax posterior capsule. So tight incision, it increases the frictional heat and hinders the fluid flow. Repeated injection of OBD causes a no flow state and it causes wound burn in foot position 3. So here is a video. As you can see, the incision is being made and it's again a very black and hard cataract. Phacoemulsification has started. If you note down the CD, it is around started from 0. So by the time we go up to the end of the last fragment, it's almost 70. A huge amount of energy was spent. And over here, you see a chalky white opacity, and that is the wound burn. So in such an instance, you never hesitate to put a suture over there. Otherwise, it might cause a leaky wound and subsequent complications associated like endophthalmitis and all. Always ensure fluid flow before you move on to foot position 3, that is you apply your power. Your flow should be there around the tip.
To expose the tip further and bury the nucleus deeper. A sharp vertical chopper with a 1.5 to 2 mm bend will penetrate deep into the nucleus. Once inside the anterior chamber, ensure proper fluid flow around the tip of the phaco probe before applying
power. Here, if you can see, the tip currently is occluded. It is occluded by the viscoelastic material that you have injected into the anterior chamber. So, and the aspiration over here is 0, that is no flow is happening at the present moment. So as the occlusion breaks down, the vacuum becomes 0 and the aspiration starts, then only you move on to the foot position 3. So that is the basic message which I am trying to convey.
Remain in foot position 2, that is irrigation aspiration, for some time till the occlusion sound stops. Then move on to position 3 after proper fluid circulation has started, or else heat will be transmitted to the endothelium causing injury.
So the capsular axis should be slightly larger, not very large, but in order to make a good overlap, you make your capsular axis at the optimum size, and there might be uncontrolled peripheral extension as the capsule sometimes is very thin, and there is lack of red reflex, which might cause very large difficulty if you want to do a rhexis. If there is no red reflex, you might be losing the edge of the rhexis. Hydrodissection is again, you have to be very careful because the nucleus is a solid, hard, thick in such cataracts. So there is always a chance of capsular lenticular block, and you need to target multiple points and decompress. So again, this is another video.
Express some OVD from the anterior chamber while injecting fluid. Sometimes capsulolenticular block occurs, so target multiple points to inject the fluid. Decompress simultaneously so as to avoid posterior capsular blowout. The capsule is sometimes quite thin, and sometimes extend to the periphery uncontrollably. Once extended to the periphery, it may not be brought back, and hence phacoemulsification may be extremely dangerous because of the chances of nucleus drop. The size of the rexis should be adequately large, in other words, not too small, so that in case of converting it to a manual SICS or ECC, one can easily express the nucleus out of the bag. Nucleus rotation in some cases is easy, but many a times the corticocapsular adhesions resist nuclear rotation. Forcible rotation leads to zonular dehiscence. You should be very careful while doing hydrodissection as the fluid wave is not clearly visible due to the density of the nucleus. Vertical chopping is the preferred technique.
So the nuclear rotation is very crucial before phaco. And as you can see, as you have already seen, that high corticocapsular adhesions resist rotation, and forcible rotation is a complete no. It will lead to zonular dehiscence and further complications. The reported average endothelial cell loss after phaco varies between 4 and 25%. So in order to prevent that, we have two kinds of viscoelastics in our platter. One is a dispersive viscoelastic, the other one is a cohesive viscoelastic. So in case if you target a hard cataract, then it's better to use a cohesive and a dispersive together. So it's called a soft shell technique. A lower viscosity dispersive OVD and a higher viscosity cohesive OVD into an inner and outer shell respectively. So over here, if you can see, the dispersive coats the endothelium, and the orange one is the cohesive, which sits just below the dispersive and in front of the lens capsule. So this is a small video on that. So at first,
a dispersive OVD is injected first into the anterior chamber, followed by a cohesive OVD underneath the dispersive to create space, pushing the dispersive OVD towards the endothelium. This is called soft shell technique, described by Steve Archinoff.
To better impale the nucleus, you must retract the irrigation sleeve maximally as much as possible and bury the tip. A very sharp vertical chopper will best incise into denser nuclear face without displacing it. So as you can see over here, the nucleus,
brown nucleus is about 4 to 4.5 mm thick. Initial sculpting weakens the core of the nucleus. This has to be done with continuous power and low vacuum mode. A 30-degree Kelman tip is preferable. A sharp vertical chopper with a 1.5 to 2 mm bend will penetrate deep into the nucleus and crack the posterior plate, which is not possible with a short, sharp chopper. Now with the lateral separation force, the nuclear mass separates along the pre-existing anatomic fault lines. These cataracts require more phaco energy and more phaco time. Our aim will be to reduce both of them. So after the fragments are separated, they are emulsified using torsional or hyperpulse technologies. Our aim should be to use minimum phaco time and minimum phaco power as possible. The vacuum should be on the higher side to carry away the emulsate.
protect the endothelium adequately and then again proceed. But again, don't forget to ensure the fluid flow.
VSS on the roof of the tunnel in order to keep it cool. Brown
So
nucleus.
here again,
If chopping and lateral separation is not achieved at one single go, multi-level chopping is employed. That is, the nucleus is impaled at a deeper plane before further employing lateral separation force.
Time up.
So
If
our
chopping-
aim will be to reduce the cycle time. Hello, is my time up?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The time is up.
Okay, do I continue or?
So you can sum up within 1 minute.
Sum up. Yeah.
So our aim should be reducing there's a noise coming continuously.
Eh,
So our aim will be to reduce energy as much as possible and improve the followability with the help of hyperpulse technology. As we all know that torsional technology uses minimum amount of energy to emulsify the nucleus. Sometimes we might get a lax posterior capsule, as you can see over here, and that you must be very careful while emulsifying the last fragment because the PC come into your tip and produce a PC rent. Hooks, rings, etc. should be in your hand. If required, you have to put a capsular hook and pupil and do the phaco. At any given point of time, if you feel that it's not possible with the phacoemulsification, please do not hesitate to convert it to a small incision cataract surgery. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mohantos. Is a nice overview of how to deal a hard cataract, rock hard cataract.